Hi, this is my book video, which I'm really excited about because I love books. You might have noticed that I'm just making these videos one after the other, but changing my top just to make things look a little bit different. Could have changed the background really, but hey, too lazy for that. I'm pretty happy now because I've got all these books around me. The first one I'm going to talk about is one of the first ones that I really got into, that really helped me out with understanding my path a little bit, and it's a bit of an instruction manual in a way. It's called Barefoot Doctor's Handbook for the Urban Warrior, a spiritual survival guide. Now this book is really easy to just pick up, flick through and read something. It's not heavy, it's funny, it covers everything from sex and drugs, not rock and roll, I'm afraid, running, fear of the void, easing off, visualizations, how to stand like a warrior, different Tai Chi kind of breathing and movements. It's all about getting your energy flowing in the right way, really, and a way of perceiving things in the modern world, because although we've got all these ancient practices, the world is completely different to how it was back then. So it's a good read. It talks about patience as well, blessings and curses, going with the flow mainly, which is something that I'm trying to do quite a lot. It talks about idling and procrastination. It's just really light-hearted, and Barefoot Doctor has got such a great sense of humour about things. I find books easier to read, spiritual books, when there's a sense of humour that goes with them, because a lot of the time I can get really bogged down by things that are too serious. So yeah, that book's great, so I definitely recommend that because it's such light reading, and you can dip into it whenever, and I still do now. A lot of this stuck in my head after the first time I read it, but like I said, it's something you can dip into all the time. I'm quite heavily into Native American beliefs, so one of my other books, one of my favourites, is Dancing the Dream by Jamie Sams, and this book really helped me to work through my path as such. It's the 7 sacred paths to human transformation, and each path has a chapter dedicated to it. It's really good reading. Again, there's a sense of humour there. I like the humour that Native Americans bring to things, and also Buddhists as well, and I think any kind of ancient belief system had to have some kind of humour there, because we are, as I said in my other video, it's all about seriousness and playfulness and balancing the two. So yeah, this talks about different things like energy boundaries, how you interact with other people, how every now and again life will throw some kind of spanner in the works, which Jamie calls enlightenment traps, and they're things that you will replay over and over and over again until you learn your lesson. And I've had quite a few of those myself, and I think I'm finally learning the relationships lesson. So finally something's done me some good. But yeah, these books that I'm talking about are books that certain phrases or certain chapters or certain ideas have stuck in my mind, and I've kind of, gone back to that and thought, right, that's why that's happening, and I understand that, and then I'll come back to the books and I'll flick through. Something I do like to do is put like bookmarks or pieces of paper on pages where I think it would be interesting for me to look at again. So that's that book. Jamie Sams is awesome, really good. She's an excellent poet as well. I really like the covers of her books also. So This is another book by Jamie Sams, and this one you can either go through with the moon cycles, figure out where you're up to, which moon you're up to, like fourth moon, third moon of the year, and start from there and go day by day and take the teachings as they come, like they're all separate kind of teachings. Or you can do what I do a lot of the time and just sit and flick through the book, and it'll come up with something that's apt for you at that time. That's how it works for me anyway. So there are poems, there are stories, Native American stories, all kinds of different teachings. That's really interesting, and that again is something you can just dip into. So I like to have books that I can do that with. A book that I've read this year is The Power of Kabbalah. Now, you might have heard of Kabbalah through Madonna studying it. A lot of people tend to think, I don't really want to learn about that then, if it's just, it's the new fad or whatever, but this is so ancient, it's unreal. It's the basis of all religions, really. But as it says on the front, quoted by Madonna, "No hocus pocus here, nothing to do with religious dogma. The ideas in this book are earth-shattering and yet so simple." And it's true. And this, again, quite easy to get into. Short chapters, straight to the point, and it makes a really, really good point. It makes a lot of good points about a lot of things. When I read it, I thought, whoa, yeah, that makes so much sense. And this is what it says on the inside of the cover. "Imagine your life filled with unending joy, purpose and contentment. Imagine your days infused with pure insight and energy. This is the power of Kabbalah. It is the path from the momentary pleasure that most of us settle for to the lasting fulfillment that is yours to claim. Your deepest desires are waiting to be realised, but they are not limited to the temporary rush from closing a business deal, short-term high from drugs, or a passionate sexual relationship that lasts only a few short moments. It's all about experiencing a lasting sense of wholeness." So, when you put stuff out there, when you want to manifest something, it's not necessarily going to come back to you like that. Although a lot of the things I've asked for this year have come like that, but I think that's a lot to do with the energy of this year. But yeah, it's all about there not being any kind of time scale on the other side. In spirit and the universe doesn't really have a sense of time because it's timeless. But that's all stuff that you'll learn about in the book, so buy the book or lend the book. So I read a lot of self-help books as well, and too many to mention really, and a lot of those I've actually taken out from the library, so I don't have them with me. There are a few that I'll try and make a list of them and mention them in another video when I can remember what they were. So I've read things like, a lot of people have probably heard of this book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. That's by Susan Jeffers, and that is really, really, really good reading. It's all about going from pain to power, not listening to those doubts, not listening to those negative voices that you'll have in your head telling you that you can't do something. It's all about going for it and doing it. And I'm not 100% sorted on this one. I do still suffer from anxiety in certain things, but I generally know that if it's something that I really want to go for and it's something that I want to do, then I've got to just face that fear, which is really difficult when you do actually suffer from anxiety, especially social anxiety, I found. But if you want a book that's going to give you a hand with that, go for that book. She's also got Feel the Fear and Beyond, which goes past that, which is more techniques. And her other book is End the Struggle and Dance with Life. A lot of these books, in fact all of these books, are about surrendering and going with the flow and going for what you want in life, letting things fall into place, and not striving so much as just being. So they're just some books that I've read that I've enjoyed. At the moment I'm reading Lame Deer Secret Visions, and this is a fantastic book. If you're into Native American beliefs and things, then go for it, read this book, really good book. He's got such a great, or had such a great sense of humour. He's passed now. It's fascinating. It's the story of his life, also different beliefs and ceremonies and where certain ideas come from. And yeah, just a really inspirational guy, and it's really resonated with me. So yeah, check this out if you're into that kind of thing, or even if you're not, you might enjoy it anyway. So that's the end of my book recommendation video. I'll probably make some more because there's just so many books here that I'd like to talk about. So yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry if I've rambled and been a bit all over the place. So I'll make my next video soon. And peace and love to everybody, and speak to you soon. Bye.